Number 1. Tawaret mentions the ancestral plane. Tawaret tells Marc and Steven that they're in the duat, which is just one of many different afterlives. She mentions another version of the afterlife as being the ancestral plane, which is the same dimension from Black Panther when T'Challa met previous deceased ancestors, including his late father, T'Chaka. The ancestral plane is also known as the astral plane or the astral dimension, which is the same place that Doctor Strange goes to when he does his out-of-body astral projection. Number 2. Marc and Steven's hearts are incomplete. Tawaret says that their hearts feel incomplete. This is likely a reference to the fact that there's still one more hidden alter or personality, which is likely Jake Lockley, the same one we saw trapped in a sarcophagus in episode 4. In the comics, Jake Lockley is another prominent personality, alter in the same body. It's easy to distinguish Jake Lockley from Marc or Steven in the comics because of his mustache and facial hair. In a later scene, Marc and Steven also see a memory both of them can't remember. It's probably one of Jake's memories. One of the biggest reasons supporting this is that there's a taxicab in that memory, and Jake is a cab driver in the comics. Number 3. Marc had a younger brother, who is a major character in the comics. A look into a memory from their past sees Marc being the original alter personality, and it reveals that Marc had a younger brother. However, what happens next is a departure from the comic book version. The MCU version of Marc's brother dies in a freak accident when they went to a cave with a strong current. Marc's brother probably shares the same name as the comic book version, as their mother calls him, Roro. In the comics, his name is Randall Spector. Their mother turns bitter and blames Marc for Randall's death, which is a traumatizing experience for Marc and probably one of the things that triggered his death. In the comics, Randall actually lived to be an adult and became a mercenary just like Marc. However, Randall later betrayed Marc and almost died, but he eventually became a villain named Shadow Knight. Number 4. Marc mentions Bushman by name for the first time. Marc reveals that Raoul Bushman was his old CO, commanding officer, and he turned against him when Bushman changed his plans, which caused the deaths of Layla's father. Bushman also shot Marc. In the comics, Raoul Bushman is one of Moon Knight's most iconic villains. Number 5. Moon Knight origins. We also get a glimpse at Moon Knight's origin story, as Khonshu helps heal Marc's gunshot wounds and stops him from killing himself. Number 6. Marc was the original alter personality. Steven was created as a defense against their mother's abuse. The previous flashback already somewhat confirmed this, but this confirms it even further. Marc's death was triggered as a defense mechanism against his mother's abuse, which is why Steven was created, so that they could have a better life. Marc also revealed to Steven that their mother is dead, which is what caused their lives to start getting intertwined. Number 7. Steven apparently dies and Marc finds himself in Egyptian heaven. Steven falls off the boat in the duat and turns to stone, while Marc suddenly finds his heart balanced and goes to the field of reeds, which is the Egyptian version of heaven. That was certainly a crazy cliffhanger. With only one episode to go, I literally have no idea how this show is going to end. End credits of previous episode shows the moon is getting fuller, but the end credits of this episode, the moon is setting down.